Hi everyone, this is Greg from Route, and today I'm really excited to show you a major update to Route's proposal generator, version 2.0. So to access it from your dashboard, just click on Proposals. And then in the upper right, click Create Proposal. So from here you have a few options where you can use a completed walkthrough if you've used Route's walkthrough builder. If you haven't, you can still create it from scratch as well. For this example, we're going to select a walkthrough that we did previously for a small office that's requesting a janitorial cleaning. So right away, it'll ask you to choose a template. We have two available. One is the standard proposal. This includes all the elements you need for a legal contract. Also, we have a scope of work template as well. This is more so for you just need to create a scope of work that you need to share with your team for an account. The third option is blank. This is where you get to create it from scratch and really let any kind of design idea you have flow wildly. I'm going to select blank today. And the reason for that is on the far right hand side, you can see all these elements which are options that you can include in your proposal. Furthermore, you get to customize every one of these elements that you see. So right away, I think we need a nice little letterhead to introduce ourselves at the top of this proposal. So I'm going to select the letterhead document, I'm going to left click on it and drag it to the middle of the screen. Right away you can see where your company name is and where the client's name is. Additionally, you can add in logos for both of them. Furthermore, if you want to jazz it up a little bit, you can change the background color of the letterhead and the font color. So I'm going to give it a nice blue background with some white font. Next, I want to include our charges. I want to show the client right away how much that they're going to be invoiced for our services for a janitorial cleaning job. So on the right, I'm going to click charges and again, drag it into the document. When I do so, you'll see it's blank. Now, if you have used Route's estimate calculator, there will be a button right over here where you can select it, where it says add charges, and it'll bring in the totals that you worked on the estimate calculator. However, if you just need to throw them in there, maybe you're doing it from scratch or you know how much you're going to price for this job, you can just click add service. Then from the drop down, select which service, in this case janitorial cleaning, then select the charge interval. This is how frequently you're going to invoice them, and then include your pricing. Right below it, you'll see that there is an additional line item for supplies and materials. Again, this is optional, but I'm going to throw that in there as well and include it in our proposal. If you need to add any additional line items, you can just click on Add Item. And if you need to change any of these texts for any of these items, you can just click on the text field and change it as needed. Next, I'm going to go into our service frequency. They want to know what days of the week we're going to be there. I'm going to drag service frequency right into the document. And then right over here, there's a few additional options. If you don't want to select day to day, how often you perform the frequency, we do offer weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, once, and other. We're going there 3 days a week, so I'm going to select those days right there, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next, there's a few elements that I want to show how you can kind of combine them together to create whatever you would like. Maybe I want to have an About Us section, about our company, to show to the client so they can kind of see some insight into the people that they're going to be working with. So I'm going to include a header. I'm going to drag that in right here. And this is going to let me customize the name of it. So I'm just going to call it About Us. And if I wanted to, I can increase its size or change the color as well. And then below that, I'm going to select the element Rich Text. So think of Rich Text as your standard word editor. This is where you can add in lists, bold, italicize, numbered lists if you need to right here. It's very open. So this is where I'm going to add a short description about our company. I'm just going to say, hi, we're excited to work with you, and we have been in the industry since 2012. And then I'm going to select close. Now to add a little more flair to it, I think I'm going to include an actual image of our team. So how do I do that? You guessed it, it's the image element from the right hand panel again. I'm going to drag this in right below where I have the rich text. And then on the right, I'm going to select my image by clicking on Choose Image, find the photo of our team, select open, and then from there I can crop the image if I need to. So we'll get a nice little crop right here. And if you need to adjust the size of the image, you can use the size percentage slider, again, right where you chose to select the image. I don't want to make it too big. I think that looks about right. And if I need to change the alignment, I can do so as well at the very top. Now, I have a little flair for design, and I think that right after the service days, jumping into the About Us without any kind of section break looks a little weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the divider element, which is a horizontal line, to kind of split them up. I can also adjust the thickness of this line, and I can change the color if I want to as well. So next, there's actually a couple of other elements that are very specific to our industry, and it's going to save you a bunch of time and make your proposals look pretty sharp. One of these is the scope of work. So if I'm going to bring the scope of work right into the document, again, just by clicking on it from that right-hand panel. And what this section allows you to do is block by block, section by section, area by area, service by service, however you want to break it out, allows you to add your tasks and their associated frequency right there, nice and organized. What's really great is Route also comes preloaded with the Route janitorial template, and what this does is it looks at the areas that it found from your walkthrough, or if you didn't do a walkthrough, no worries, it's going to look at the location type that you selected when you created the client. When I click Route janitorial template and then click apply, you will see room by room, it has my tasks and their frequency right there. So for lobby, you can see I have clean and disinfect surfaces, mop floor with neutral cleaner, etc. However, if I ever need to change any of these, on the right-hand side, I can just change the text by clicking on the text field. If I need to rearrange the order, I can click on these anchor points and drag and drop. And additionally, I can change the frequency just by clicking the drop down next to them. If I need to add a new task, I can click the Add Task button. If I need to delete any, I can click on any of these little red X's right here. And if I go to the very bottom, I can also add a new task section completely if I need to. Another industry-specific element is areas. So if I tap on areas, what this does is it imports your notes and data from your walkthrough. This includes the square footage, the pictures and notes, fixture counts, everything. Additionally, you can always rearrange the order of the areas if you need to, and you can remove any as well. The reason for this is it stands out to clients. If you're going against multiple competitors, your bid's going to really stand out because they have photos of their own space that they're reviewing along with the notes that you gathered. Two, think about it like this. It's kind of like the setup before photos. If you win the account a couple months down the road, client's coming back to you saying, I don't really know how much effort and work you're putting into this, you can say, well, look around your office now, and then compare it to the proposal that we signed, and you can actually see the night and day difference. Now, I want to call attention to something as well that's going to save you time when you create your proposals in the future. If you find yourself using the same similar kind of element, you can save it as a custom element. So for example, that team photo that I included earlier, I'm going to reuse that in the future. I don't want to have to always upload it, reattach it every time. So I'm going to click on it, and then in the lower right where it says Save Custom Element, it's going to bring up a little box where I can name the element. I'm going to call it Team Photo. And then if you look in the lower right-hand corner, you can see that Team Photo now appears under the Custom Element section. So that means whenever I want to use it again in the future, I just tap on it and it'll bring it in for me. What's great is you can use this to save, maybe you have some certifications that you always want to include or legal verbiage. You can save it right here as well. All right, folks, that's a wrap. This is Greg from Route, signing off. But if you ever need anything, I'm always there to help. Just shoot me an email.